everybody. This is Football Psych, and this is Command Mike.
This is Large Sarge
and good old Shaq.
Shaq, it's that time. It's that time, buddy. Woo!
Yes.
Oh, yeah. 15-yard pass down the middle.
There we go.
I'm telling you guys have Large Sarge has a perfect completion passion rating, and I don't think Shaq has ever dropped a pass. Like ever.
I was trained if it touch your hands, you better catch it.
You better catch it.
He dropped one. He dropped one.
He'll catch it even if they don't touch his hands.
He copped to it. Welcome everybody to the show.
All right, guys. Well, you know what? The Washington Commanders might be off, but we are not. And you know what? There's always news to talk about with the Commanders. There's always news. And we're going to get right on into it. So, first of all, we are still holding out for two primary things that are going on. First of all, Trey Amos needs to sign his freaking rookie contract, you freaking holdout. And Terry McLaurin, hey, I know you're just waiting for the right kind of deal to come along. So, Adam Peters, get the freaking deal done, bro.
Get to camp. Get to camp.
I'm going to tell you right now, and Terry McLaurin is looking for upward to $40 million.
Ooh,
he's looking for upward to $40 million for the next 2 years.
What, is he trying to buy his own team or what?
I have no idea.
Man, that is big money, man. That's probably shows we're far off. Yeah. I don't think we're not going to pay that.
No.
Oh my God, that is unbelievable.
Terry, really, bro? You're like, you're going to ask for that much kind of money? Oh, man. I understand you want a pay raise, but 40 mil?
Yep, he's looking for up to 40 million. He's saying he's one of the best receivers in the league, and he want to get paid like it at the end.
I don't think statistically that's true. He might be top 10.
Top 15.
Yeah. I mean, and he's already getting paid. $25.5 million puts him at number 17. Yep. So he's not far off of where he should get paid anyway. But 40 million, come on.
Yep.
That's where you get 30 years old and you're like, look, I might have one more. If I tear an Achilles, I do an ACL injury, I'm done. I'm going to cash out. That's what is in his brain.
Yeah. He's trying to get that final big payday before he retires forever.
And I'll guarantee it, I wouldn't doubt.
Oh yeah, because that's the way they're going now.
Yep. Now this Trey Amos thing, I don't understand him. Like he don't got a leg to stand on when it comes to negotiating.
No leverage.
No leverage at all. Like you mess around and not be on his roster at all.
That's it. You better get it together, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. So we got the training camp dates have been released since our last show. Rookies are going to report July 18th. And the veterans get to report a few days later. Get the little veterans privilege. They don't have to show up until the 22nd. They can show up earlier if they want, but they don't have to show up until July 22nd.
Yeah.
And so
if they want a spot on the team, they better show up early.
Yeah, I think if you're on the bubble, you might want to show up. But
if you're not, you show up. You put your work in. You show them you want it. You show them you believe it.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, anybody that know they're on the bubble that didn't show up to the OTAs and I'm not doing voluntary workouts, that's not there. Like, if you're on the bubble, you should be showing up with the rookies, man.
and I'll put a shout out to Marshawn Lattimore. You might want to show up on the 15th, dude.
Yeah.
You might want to show up before the rookies do.
Yeah. I'm telling you. Or you can go kick rocks. I've been ready to get rid of him since we picked him up. Yeah. Kick rocks.
You might want to show up next week.
Yep. So yeah, now he can go. Now, one of the things I did read, I read today, right? While we're talking about this training camp and the season coming up, they're gonna let them wear Redskin uniforms this year.
Woo.
So yeah.
What?
Yeah, I just read it. They're gonna let them. There's gonna be a couple games this year. They're gonna let them wear Redskin uniforms.
Nice.
Wait a minute. The old school
helmet.
Oh my God.
Redskin. So exciting.
Helmet, uniforms, everything. I just have to read it
for the throwback games.
Yeah, probably so.
Hey, if they do these throwback games, do not be surprised if people just start chanting Redskins in the stadium, man.
Well, you know,
I will kick off that chant.
And now I'm gonna tell you what's crazy though. Like even when they score touchdowns, all the games we was at last year, everybody's singing "Hail to the Redskins." Anybody saying no "Hail to the Commanders"? Everybody, "Hail
That's
to
true.
the Redskins." Like,
Well, but that gets a little muted on TV. Like if you get the whole stadium chanting Redskins, Redskins, like it will come through on TV, on national television, man. Like, and this fan base would love nothing more. Like the fan base is going to lose their mind on these games anyway.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
With the strength of schedule, with our strength of schedule, and the potential, like the upside of this team and everything, let's get that chant going. Because I would definitely love to see the name come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
It could happen. I mean, people say no, that's never going to happen. They put on that uniform. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the fan base? What kind of buzz that's going to stir?
Yep.
How much they're setting themselves up to go? Oh, geez, we have to go back. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But there might be
if I was in that position, I'd never let them put the uniform on because it's going to cause so much of a stir. I'm going to have to deal with it. So what are they thinking?
Yeah, I mean, and not only that, but you're going to get some lefty backlash.
Oh yeah. But look, this thing right here though, and I really, really hate to say this, but again, the people that does all the backlash do not attend these games. They don't go to the games. They don't participate in. They don't even like football at all. They just don't like the name. I'm telling you, it's some young girl with purple hair that's offended by everything.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, and it's not a Native American Indian. You know, because Native American Indians, you know, they're not offended by it, and that's the part that surpasses everybody. But anyway, I'm HTTR for life.
For life.
Oh, you ain't kidding.
Life, baby. All right. So Terry McLaurin, I hope you get your contract done. I don't want this to be an issue. But I'll be honest with you, I ain't paying you no $40 million.
No. And that's where he's looking at between $35 and $40 million.
35, we might be able to go with 35, but 40, come on.
Where did you hear that, Shaq?
It's been all over Facebook. It's been all over the news and everything. His asking price.
Wow. Maybe
there are a lot of teams that'll pay that to get him. There are a lot of teams that will pay that. Will step up and say, "I'll give you that money. Come be my number one."
At 30 though. That's what I'm saying. At 30,
Patriots will do it. They got cap. Oh yeah.
But the thing is they would have to work a trade with us first. So they're going to give up draft capital and that kind of money.
Yeah. To win. Yeah, to get into the playoffs, to get people in seats. Butts.
Hey, you know what?
How it is, man. Butts in seats.
Well, the Patriots are willing to give up draft capital and pay that salary, I'd let Terry go.
Yeah, well, yeah, for real.
We had that conversation last week, right?
Yep. And then not only that, the Patriots right now, I mean, they conference is garbage. It's easy to win. So, I mean, if Drake May and Stephon Diggs start clicking like that, they're gonna be all right in New England. Terry McLaurin, not as
you know, I get it, right? I get it.
Yeah.
If I was in their shoes, I kind of get it. But at the same token, I'm a loyalist, you know. If I've been a Commander and I've been through the pain and I watch this come back, then I want to sign with I want a home. I want to set records in my home. You know what I mean? I don't want to go floating off to another team with no idea who I'm dealing with on the management side of the house or the coaching side of the house. There's a lot of variables, right? So you know, some guy who's just like, I want to take my money and I want to roll. I'm just like, you know what? Get out.
Yeah, because you know, everybody for years, especially under Daniel Snyder, everybody came to Washington for a cash grab.
That's right.
They came here for a payday and didn't really produce nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Terry has been producing, but $40 million worth of production? No, he ain't Jamar Chase. He ain't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's just not. He's not one of those guys.
Yeah.
He's not Deebo Samuel. I mean, not Deebo Samuel. He's not DK Metcalf. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not one of those guys.
Yeah.
And, you know, there are very few players around the league that stick with one team their whole career, right? And, like, especially with our team. I mean, that's one thing I always respected about Darryl Green. So he never went nowhere else.
Right.
You know, I would love to see Terry McLaurin be in that group. But, like, it's hard.
It hurts my heart. It makes me sad, you know?
Yeah.
Like, really, dude? Really, dude?
I mean,
year you just had, you don't want to stick and see if you can make a Super Bowl?
Well,
You're going to go somewhere else for the money and never have a chance to get a ring?
Well,
Really?
Well, this thing right here, though. Remember, it's business first. The game is there. The game is there to be played, but it's business first. And he's at the point of his career where he's winding down. He's starting to get to them twilight years, right? So he wants to get paid before he goes out the door, which is understandable.
Jeff is asking, what is CeeDee Lamb getting paid?
That's a good question. Let me look it up.
It's up there. It's 30.
Yeah. He's up there, and he probably does want to get paid more than him because he's better than CeeDee Lamb.
Hold on, CeeDee Lamb.
Depends on who's throwing the ball, I'm going to say.
Well, I mean, they got Dak Prescott.
And Dak's pretty dadgum good with him. But
yeah.
Okay, so the total value of his contract, 4 years, $136 million. So he did a restructure for $25 million. So he is getting his annual salary is $34 million a year.
Yeah. You know what? And I agree with both of you. Hell no, he's not worth a penny more than 35.
Yeah. You can pay him 35. He's getting paid more than CeeDee Lamb. And yeah.
Yeah.
But 40?
Hey,
Wow.
I got a comment from Alan. Alan, thank you for chiming in, buddy. He says, I work side by side with Daryl Green's nephew in his job. He works with his nephew. And he says, he's a crazed Eagles fan.
How does that happen? How does that happen?
How does that happen?
I don't know. I had to throw that in. Thanks, Alan.
I mean, he doesn't like Uncle Daryl or what? Like, how do you grow up an Eagles fan if you have Uncle Daryl?
Yep.
I have no idea.
One of the best Redskins that ever play on this team ever, ever, hands down, ever.
By far the best.
That's a shame. You think he gets a seat at the kids' table at Thanksgiving, or does he get to sit with the adults?
Man, that guy might be on the picnic.
You think they sell him out to the kids' table? I do.
All right, so one player that I think that the Commanders should sign, get an edge rusher.
Not happening. Not happening.
I mean, I know we're not going to sign anybody between now and training camp because we're just not going to do it.
I mean, we can get Zadarius because he's still on the market. We can get Zadarius Smith for cheap.
We can get him for cheap, and believe me, he's better than a lot of edge rushers we got on this roster.
Yeah.
Zadarius has already claimed he's coming back to the Lions, so it's not going to happen.
He's not claimed. He's still a free agent.
No,
he's still a free agent.
Claimed that he wants to be back on the team. They're working the deal. It's not going to happen. We have no chance.
Well,
whatever. Screw the Lions.
Screw the Lions.
He wants to be a Lion.
Screw the Lions.
I'm going to send you to the Lions. Wanted to be a cowboy. Kind of the same deal.
I'm going to send you to the Lions edition. I'm going to kick you off of this.
I'm just saying it ain't going to happen for us.
All right. So we did have some sad news this past week. Passing of a legend, Fred Smith, who used to be a partial owner of the Washington Redskins before the name change. As a matter of fact, he had a falling out with Daniel Snyder over the name change, and that's kind of why he left. But he passed away. He's the founder of FedEx. And I will tell you a very, very interesting story. I got a master's degree from Embry Aeronautical University in aeronautical science. And so when I got that degree, our guest speaker of our graduation ceremony was none other than Fred Smith. And he told us the story of how he founded FedEx. Real quick, I'll make it short, but the short version of the story is he was given a project when he was working on his degree in college in business, a project of a startup company. And he came up with the concept of FedEx, about delivering packages all over the United States overnight, to get it anywhere in the United States overnight, to beat the Postal Service on rapid delivery. And he said we could do this by having airplanes that go to every major city with distribution hubs and everything else like that. His college professor gave him a C- on his paper, saying it was unrealistic.
And look at him now, billionaire.
And he became a billionaire by actually doing this. And the cool part of the story is later on, when he founded FedEx and became a billionaire and actually did what he did, he went back and hired his professor that gave him the C- to be part of his board of directors.
What?
Okay, I did not know that.
Wow.
That is an incredible story.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus, I'd have never done that. I'd have sent him a box of poo.
Yeah.
But it just goes to
I
show
watched
you.
the FedEx. So just not a plug. Discovery Channel has this show on every week that's called "Businesses That Made America Great." And there was there was one episode that is FedEx versus UPS, and it shows how Fred Smith took that company and went in the hole, losing millions and millions and millions of dollars up front, begging people to invest. And he finally got it going. And once it happened, the light went off in America like that, right? And it's an amazing story.
Because you got to think all kinds of things like Amazon, Walmart, UPS. There's a whole lot of spinoffs about using that same kind of business model to get goods and services to people rapidly, quick, right? Yep. A lot of online stores, they'll use all that kind of different things to get things shipped quicker. And I'm telling you, it definitely changed a lot around the world about how packages were being shipped. So
yeah, I would say because FedEx is worldwide. So yeah.
But to be able to see him give his speech in real life during my graduation ceremony was
so
really
cool. I don't remember you telling me that, Coach. That must have been so cool. And we got our stadium, right? For the longest time.
Yep. And FedEx Stadium was our stadium for a long time until that fallout. But who didn't have a fallout with Daniel Snyder?
Yeah, I wonder what
I love that he loved the Redskins name and had that falling out. I think that's amazing.
Yep. I wonder what Daniel Snyder doing right now.
He's in Sri Lanka. What did I read? He's in Asia somewhere with his family, and it's some resort that he bought.
I heard that he was on his super yacht off the coast of Monaco the last time I heard.
Okay, Monaco, yeah.
But he's got $6 billion, so he can do whatever flip he wants.
He can do what he wants. But yeah, he can do whatever he wants. He ain't got to deal with the stress of the team no more. Like
he don't even have to listen to nobody no more.
Nope.
He's choosing which, this particular lobster is not the exact inch that I want. You're fired.
You're fired. Look. Get off my yacht. Matter of fact, swim back to shore.
Yeah, exactly.
So we didn't get any respect from EA Sports at all, man. They came out and they came out with the team ratings for Madden 26, and the Commanders are ranked third from the bottom of all teams in the NFL with a score of 78 overall.
But you
get all the way to the NFC Championship game, and the following year you get a Manning rating third from the bottom.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why. It's just me, and I've said this multiple times. Our rating is that low because our team is so old.
Yep.
That's why the age of this team has everything to do with that low score. We older, we slower. You know what I'm saying? And we have contractual issues with Terry McLaurin. We really didn't improve the backfield. The defensive line didn't improve. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So that rating is about right.
No, Jeff. The Jags came in at 79, ahead of the Commanders. Jags. I'm going to tell you, I don't disagree with this because we were last in the strength of schedule last year from a schedule standpoint, and we're in the middle of the pack. And it's a different year, and exactly what Shaq has been saying in this and Coach as well. Every other team around us got younger, faster, and better, and we got older.
It's like
older. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, because we picking up players for notoriety just because of the name. Like, nah, I'm like, okay, man. Like, we need to start really centering around Jayden Daniels, start building a young core around Jayden Daniels. Like, we have to. Like, I understand we want to win now, right? So this is no disrespect to me. That's about right. Between 78 and 80 is about right.
I don't have us that low in Madden. I'm sorry, I don't. Not with the weapons we've got offensively. If we can score 30 points a game, we're a playoff team. So we should be a playoff team.
So think about this though, right? Think about this. They're going off of last year's roster, right? We made it that far in the playoffs. We're going off last year's roster. But look what we got on the offense. Injury prone, and we let John Allen walk. We got an injury prone Austin Ekeler. We got an injury prone Brian Robinson. Our receiving core, we only had Terry McLaurin last year. You know what I'm saying? So if they're going based off of last year's roster, I mean,
this is supposed to be projected for what the roster is supposed to look like this year, because they're building those rosters out for Madden 26, and they're saying like their projections is a 78 overall rating. Now, that might be the launch rating. We don't know the actual launch ratings yet, and there's still some maneuvering that can happen. But most 90-man rosters are set, and the team won't deviate this much. It's usually up a point or down a point from launch ratings at this particular point. But to me, I have a hard time accepting a team that went to an NFC championship. I mean, yeah, I got it that we lost like Jeremy Chin. But for the most part, this team is pretty much the same team. We did get a few guys like really, and we were an NFC championship. So to be third from the bottom, hard to me. Like that to me, that just seems disrespectful.
And I think we're middle of the pack in the mid 80s.
And
the Lions are overrated here. The Lions lost way more than the Commanders did.
No,
they put the Lions at 88. They put Miami at 89.
They put the Cowboys at 88. Yeah, Cowboys at 88.
They put Dallas at 88.
I'm gonna tell you the team that does not need to be up there in the top 3, and that's the 49ers, because the 49ers lost everybody this offseason. They lost everybody. So them scoring 92 is crazy.
And how are the Cowboys rated over the Eagles?
Exactly.
I don't get that one.
Who made this list, Coach? Where'd you get this piece of junk from?
This came from EA Sports.
That's junk.
They're
junk on EA Sports, you idiots.
Yeah. I mean, we got teams over. They only won 2 games last year, ranked higher than us.
Yeah, look. The Bears got 81. The Jaguars got 82.
Hey, now,
how are we like?
Listen, the Bears are going to win the North. They're the most improved team in that conference. The Bears are the most improved team in that conference.
I'm not going to argue that with you, Shaq. I think you're probably right, but I don't give it to them. I think it's I think it's going to be split games everywhere between the Lions and Green Bay and Chicago. I think that is a really tough division this year, and we're going to have to play them. So,
Saji, with Aaron Glenn,
and we got the Bears.
That's what I'm saying. With Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson gone, that Detroit Lions team is not going to look the same. So you must don't have no high expectations.
I totally disagree with this ranking for the Lions. I would switch.
Yeah.
They're 88 overall.
Think of the Jets at 86. What?
I'm telling you, man. Like I'm very disappointed in EA Sports, man.
I just, I know they use a statistical model to measure this out with player scores or whatever. It's some crap like that, but this does not. Again, the Commanders were rated to finish as nobodies last year, and look what happened, right?
Yeah.
This is not real. No, they're going to do better. They're a 30-point-a-game team right now, offensively. Defensively, they're also probably giving 30 points to the other team a game. But we'll see how that works out, right?
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you another team that's ranked too low on here. The Colts. The Colts improved drastically.
Yeah,
they brought in a lot of pieces. So the Colts, I think, are ranked too low on this list too.
Oh, my goodness.
Buffalo's 85?
Jack, I'm glad to have you on here, man. You're absolutely right. Like, it's been a long time since Washington had a greater than 80 on a football team, but we've sucked for many years. So, I mean, I understand it. But we shouldn't suck that bad now. I mean, for crying out loud, we did make it to the NFC Championship game.
Yep.
This team improved in the offseason from 29-point I think it was 29-point average over the season offensively.
If I'm not mistaken, last time we
were 32 points average with the player personnel healthy and playing. That's what we should be able to achieve, and I think that's what they were going for. Defensively, I think we give up another 7 to 10 points a game,
which will make us
focus on defense. So I don't know how that pans out in our actual play. But Dallas at 88 in the 5th slot, what?
And now I'm gonna tell you, I think the last time we were ranked And I think 80 and above was the 2012, the RG3 Alfred Morris explosive year.
Yeah.
I think that was the last time we was ranked at over 80.
Wow.
I'm going to tell you something. We beat Dallas. We beat the Giants. Right?
Should have swept the Cowboys.
I'm going to count.
We should have swept the Cowboys.
Yeah. I'm going to count. I'm going to call this year. I know we're not there yet, Coach, but I'm going to call a trade with Philly. I think we get one game on Philly. I do. I just do. 1-1, right? This is all before the playoffs.
We did that last year. Of course, we had to knock Jalen Hurts out to do it.
Well, whatever, but I'm calling that again this year.
Okay. So I'm going to call that we knocked Jalen Hurts out of a game so we can win that one again this year.
Yeah, something. Because that I'm talking about if Saquon Barkley comes out looking the way he did last year, man, that offense looked unstoppable when he was 100% going.
Although there has never been a player to rush for 2,000 yards to be able to repeat it the next year.
That's right.
Yeah.
So like it's all that wear and tear. He might not be as sharp this year. I mean, he was bionic last year. But...
I'm gonna tell you two people that got close. AP and Chris Johnson.
That's true.
Yeah. So
even Barry Sanders couldn't do that.
No. And Barry's
Coach, I appreciate you putting this up, but I just don't know who the hell modeled this out. Because they're using player stats that they put in the game, right? They run their models. I'm sure there's an average. That is just fascinating that they have Washington that low. And Dallas really that high. I don't think Dallas improved that much to finish top 5. Do you?
No.
So the only thing I can think is, okay, this is the beta model. Maybe they were skewing it on purpose, but like it just seems so disrespectful. So now I want to see what the actual release ratings are going to be and how much they're off this one. Because to me, like it's just
garbage,
grossly off, in my opinion, when I look at so many of these teams on here.
I mean, I would give the Steelers. I think that's agreeable. The Bengals is agreeable. The Bills. What the heck is going on with the Bills? Why are the Bills down?
So I would agree
under Miami.
I would agree with that. Look, I would agree with the Steelers if they had kept George Pickens. If they DK Metcalf and George Pickens with Aaron Rodgers back there, and phenomenal. And then they let Najee Harris walk. So if they kept Najee Harris and then they kept George Pickens, I would agree with that Pittsburgh overall. They should be higher. If they kept Najee Harris and George Pickens, they should be higher. So
I got the.
I like how Jeff says someone probably praised him for better ratings.
Hey, let's give you a little bonus to rate us higher.
Yeah, make us sound a little bit better than what we are. Come on, man, you can do it.
The Vikings higher. The Texans are about right. The Jets are way off. The Browns are way off.
So look, this is the thing right here, though. I think we need to. I think the Jets is a team that need to be studied this year, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Yes,
because Aaron Glenn is there, right? He's a defensive mastermind. You know this already with him being in Detroit. So he's a defensive mastermind. They brought in the quarterback that they wanted. The receivers are still up there. They still got Brees running the rock. Like, I mean, it's a team that's going to surprise that division.
I think they have a chance to make the wild card. I think they do, but I don't rate them that high.
No, I mean, I think I
don't rate them over LA.
No,
I don't rate them over. I mean,
the East. I'm telling you right now, I think New England going to win it with Vrabel up there, and then bringing in Stephon Diggs. Drake May's going to show improvement. Like I think that the New England takes that conference. The hope is they should, right? Like they should finish. I would anticipate the Patriots finish higher this year. Yeah,
I would, especially if they get Scary Terry. Give Drake May a real target. Oh crap, that would be dangerous.
Well, they went out and got Stephon Diggs. So I mean, you know what I mean?
They're playing his hand. They're trying to play his hand.
I don't think Scary Terry is going anywhere. I think they'll agree to terms. I mean, they're going to go back and forth for a while, but I don't think McLaurin's going anywhere.
Man,
I'd be surprised if he did.
But
And
Coach,
now
don't you agree when a guy holds out like this, it just creates a poison pill inside the family, inside that locker room?
it does.
Whenever this happens, doesn't that create a poison pill?
It does. Yeah,
Like
it
I
absolutely
remember
does.
with the 49ers, they had this issue with Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk. And you saw what happened to them last year. They went into the toilet bowl after those holdouts.
Yep.
They went from Super Bowl loser to like their team falling apart last year.
Yep. And they had so many injuries, but they was banged up last year. The 49ers was banged up. So
But to make Large Sarge's point, when you have all those bad things happen in the locker room, I mean, it has an effect, right?
Yep.
You have some injuries. You had some people who like don't show up in the off season because they're holding out. It just throws everything off.
Remember John Allen held out. Remember he holding out stuff like that. Come back. Guess what happened? He gets hurt. Boom. Like so. I mean, but nobody wanted to deal with him in the locker room. That was one of the main reasons they shipped him away. He was a problem in the locker room. It had to be more than money with him. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So basically, guys, Adam Peters, you basically got a month to work this out with Terry McLaurin's agent. Let's get a deal done, buddy. It's probably going to be about the $35 million range. I would say a 3-year contract, but make it 2 years guaranteed and the third year voidable.
Yeah.
Heck, no. 35 mil, 1 year guaranteed, and performance bonuses.
It ain't going to work. That won't get the deal done.
Then let him go.
Especially if he want to stay here. They say they want to keep him in DC, and he has a relationship with Magic Johnson. So these kind of conversations, like Magic Johnson's already been having conversations with him about what's next after football.
Yeah, life after football.
Yeah, what life after football? Like Magic Johnson is having, like, what do you want to do for ownership? What kind of businesses do you want to plan? Like one of the things I can say, Magic Johnson, he's giving them mentorship. These players, young players, mentorship that they haven't got before. Like you know what I'm saying?
Some outsider screwing with his head. Oh Jesus, that's all we need.
Yeah,
Jack is saying he's at 37.5.
Yeah. All right, guys, keep moving on. So we have reworked our draft room to name and after Bobby Beathard. And so for all you diehard fans, you know exactly who Bobby is. Bobby was the one during the Joe Gibbs era who was the general manager. And interesting tidbit, they didn't always get along.
Yeah.
But I think what there was a healthy friction between what it took to actually build a championship team and what Joe Gibbs needed in order to win him. And you got to remember, Joe Gibbs did this with 3 different quarterbacks. Won those 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks and a lot of turnover on those rosters during those times.
And you can't name them. Mark Rippon, Doug Williams, and what we at?
Theismann?
No. Theismann got hurt. Theismann was the one.
It was Doug Williams. It was Mark Rippon. And was it? Gosh, who was the other one? Somebody got to put it out. I know Jack knows. Jack, who was it? Who was the third one?
Because we lost to Miami.
Was it Schrader?
It wasn't Jay Schrader.
No, it wasn't Schrader.
It wasn't Jay Schrader. No, it was oh man, that's a good one. Hold on.
I don't remember who it was.
Because it wasn't Theismann. It wasn't Theismann.
What was the question?
Who was the third quarterback who won the Super Bowl?
Theismann was Gibbs. He got injured. Yeah, I'm quite sure.
Yeah, but he didn't. He won the Super Bowl with Theismann.
Yeah.
Did he?
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, now I gotta Google this while I'm trying to check.
I'm looking it up right now.
So while they're looking it up, we're going to try to get some shots of what the new draft room looks like. I don't know if they just renamed it or they're actually renovating the draft room. I remember what the draft room used to look like, and I'm telling you, it was not impressive at all. It was like an empty room with a bunch of white marker boards and chairs and tables. I mean, it was nothing to look at. So if they, to me, it would be an easy thing to upgrade, spend a little money in your draft room, because sometimes they'll show that during actual draft day. And it's embarrassing when you look at a bunch of people in a bare white room with a bunch of marker boards.
It's beautiful. It's insane. And Theismann did win a Super Bowl with Gibbs. But
it was that Theismann in '82. Yep.
All right. So it's Theismann.
You see this? Ah!
Yep. It was.
So I got this one right here. This one right here. This is the. This is the Mark Ripken one right here. I kicked his butt in an alley and I stole his money. I took it right off of Mark Ripken's hand, and I haven't given it back yet.
You know, only thing I don't remember Joe Theismann winning no Super Bowl. Only thing I remember about him is getting balled up by Lawrence Taylor.
The first one, then he got the leg deal, and then next. Yep.
Yeah.
You know how I know that? Because I was 13 years old in vocational school for printing, and they for that Super Bowl, they rolled a TV, and we were off class that day. We got to watch the Super Bowl in class.
I will tell you that I think Bobby.
I was 16 or 17
at nighttime.
I will tell you that Bobby Beathard is probably the last great general manager that we've had. Yeah. We had a lot of coaches that tried to do it themselves.
Yeah,
never worked.
Nope.
Ron Rivera is the most recent horrible example of that.
You didn't like Martin Mayhew?
No, Mayhew, no.
But you know what, Coach? I got a counterpoint to you. I think Ron Rivera did a great job bringing talent in, and I think he did an atrocious job. And an atrocious job managing the talent once it was there. And then trading it away.
No.
He brought us our bookends.
Listen, he absolutely did not. He wasted a pick on Chase Young. He wasted a pick on Emmanuel Forbes.
We had a great bookend. Let me rephrase.
Okay.
And a disaster on managing the talent once it was there.
No.
I think you missed on a lot of these picks too.
You all chime in and tell me what you think.
No. Look at all the first round picks we had under Ron Rivera. They all gone.
They're all gone.
All gone.
And that wasn't mismanaged. That was duds.
All
right. Fired on a lot of duds.
Hey, all gone.
Saying Steve Spurrier was the best coach ever.
That's because he's a stupid Gators fan.
Steve Spurrier who?
Steve Spurrier was not the best coach ever.
Oh my Lord!
And Jeff, are you on drugs? Steve
Spurrier is saying he became a fan when we lost the Super Bowl in '82 against the Raiders, 36-3. Well, if you became a fan on a loss, then you are a true blood fan.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hey, what's the Marcus Allen got off in that game?
Oh my God. Jeff says, "Go Gators!"
Go Gators!
Man, he's drinking way too much swamp water over there, Jeff.
Yeah,
swamp water.
Florida Heat's getting to his head.
I'm telling you, man. I think he burned his head, man.
I think I can name 10 coaches better than Steve Spurrier. Norv Turner, Joe Gibbs.
No. Norv Turner is a fantastic coach throughout the league.
Yeah,
he did a lot of great things. He just was never he couldn't finish the deal. But
how is Steve Spurrier like not one of the worst in Washington?
Yeah, that's what I agree totally.
Yeah,
I think the only one that's probably worse than him was maybe Richie Pettibone.
Yeah.
Pettibone, yeah.
He might be the only one that was worse.
Yep, I agree.
I mean, look, the Shanahans. I mean, Kyle and Mike was building something here, and then it just kind of fell apart.
They needed a Bobby Beathard or Adam Peters instead of trying to make the decisions themselves.
Well, and Daniel Snyder had his hands was ruling with an iron fist with them. Like, no, this is who I want. They didn't want to draft RG3. They said, no, this is who you will pick. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
wow,
yeah,
didn't know that. Wow,
yeah, he was ruling with an iron fist.
Yep, it was like one of those draft day scenarios, but the owner won out.
So, Coach, do you have a picture of that draft room? Because it is absolutely gorgeous.
Send me it in email, and we'll put them up next week.
All right.
I do want to see what those pictures look like. All right, we're gonna move on.
Hold on a sec. I'll put it in the chat here so people can see it.
All right, you do that. But hey, there was a viral video on Micah Parsons this week. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Kevin Durant is pretty good buddies with Micah Parsons. And Kevin Durant, I think this is the first time in the history of this channel I'm talking basketball. But what? Kevin Durant just got traded to the Houston Rockets.
He did, yep.
And he was hanging out with Micah Parsons, and there was a video that went viral because Kevin Durant made a prediction that Micah Parsons would be a Commander within the next 2 years. And so I want to show you guys this video right here. Because I like to see Micah Parsons' response. Watch this.
To recruit him to the Commanders? Yeah. Micah, get on in here.
I think Micah
He's not signed to the Cowboys.
I think he will be a Commander at some point in his career.
When?
I would
You're
say
dictating,
I would
let's
say
go.
2 years from now.
Yo,
Commander.
I only rock with Dan Quinn, you know what I mean? Anybody else?
Exactly. That's all he need to rock with.
My neck hurts. You guys.
I
have to
only
tell
rock
me.
with
Does
Dan.
Micah love you?
And that video went viral, man, and it actually pissed off a lot of Cowboy fans when he said that.
Yeah, come on, Michael. We would take you with open arms, baby.
Now
Come
that would
on.
open some doors.
Listen.
Oh Lord.
It would address the age issue at the linebacker spot, the defensive end position, because he plays both positions. Like that would
He does.
address so much.
Wait, how
So
old
much.
is he?
Michael Parsons,
He's under 30.
way under 30.
No,
He is.
no way. He's like 27, 28.
No.
Somewhere around in there. He's
Oh.
somewhere around in there. But like, I would love nothing more to have him in here. I know he's looking it up. So, but I'm telling you, that video went viral. It caused a stir in Dallas. And
He's 26.
26.
He's
Okay,
26.
I was wrong.
so,
Man.
that caused a stir in Dallas when he said that. And it went viral all over social media.
Yep, Bobby Wagner replacement right there.
That's it,
No.
man.
No, Bobby Wagner is an interior, inside.
Yeah.
You bring Micah in. Bobby Wagner's retiring. I'm telling you. Who do you think it would? Who would it be? Lou Vu? It's going to be Lou.
No, I mean, you would put Micah Parsons on the outside because he plays the outside too. So, you would have him edge rush.
Yeah.
And then you would.
Way better than anything we got on the roster. Defensive wise.
Man, you guys can't do this to me. You can't do that. You can't get me this psyched up. You just can't do this.
Oh my God! How can you not get psyched up over a video when Micah Parsons
Because it ain't
says?
gonna happen. You just can't get me this excited. I won't sleep tonight.
I'm telling you, but like Micah Parsons just come right on out and say, "Hey, well, I rock with Dan Quinn." What?
Yeah.
How do you say that, buddy?
Yep.
Because he
Come
does.
on, let's go, baby.
Because he
Yep.
does.
And now,
Oh,
Dan Quinn better show something this year. I'm telling you right now. He better show something.
Man. I would love
Listen,
nothing
if
more
the,
than Micah
if the
Parsons.
Commanders make the playoffs this year, that chance becomes higher. If
It
we
does.
don't make the playoffs, that chance goes down.
Well, the issue would be paying him. I mean, he's worth he's worth every dime of it.
We ain't got no draft picks to pay this year.
No, none.
Yeah. So Jack brings
We
up a
got
good
money.
point. Jack brings up a good point. He's playing on his 5th-year option. So I couldn't remember, is it really he's playing this 5th-year option this year, or is his 5th-year option next year? I can't remember which one it is. So if you could recheck that, Jack, for me. But like for Kevin Durant to say in 2 years, that might be a very, very solid prediction that
Oh man,
he's not going to renew with Dallas. He's going to hit free agency, and he's going to make the Commanders a priority.
Yes, as long as Dan Quinn is still there. Now, if we see a digression in Dan Quinn coaching abilities and stuff like that, he's gonna be in DC. You know, we don't play around when it comes to these coaches. Get him out of here. Get him out.
Dan Quinn's in for 3 to 5 years. He ain't going nowhere. Not after this.
Oh man,
We-
I'm
we-
telling
we-
you, well, I
we
tell
need
you,
somebody-
as long as he's performing and as long as we're putting up things, as long as we really aren't like EA Sports thinks, like the 3rd worst team in the NFL,
Yeah.
then I
So
think he'll-
let's just say the Commanders have the sophomore blues, and we get a wild card berth, and we lose, and we're out of the playoffs. But we at least got the berth. Dan Quinn ain't going nowhere.
yeah, hang on.
And we need something long standing. Like we need a long-term coach. Like that's one of the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need stability. One of the things that Joe Gibbs brought, win, lose, or draw, he brought stability. He was here. There were no other coaches. Look what Mike Tomlin's doing in Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? It's stability. He ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Shanahan out there, Sean McVay out there. It's stability there. Mike McDaniels.
So this is what I think. I think Dan Quinn and Adam Peters have a strong relationship.
Yeah.
They seem to get along great. So
Yeah.
I don't see that changing unless everything falls apart. The one that you have to think that might be on the bubble of losing soon is Kingsbury.
Kingsbury. Yeah, I'm about to say Kingsbury. Because
Like Kingsbury is going to get a deal somewhere else if we have another successful year.
If we have another year of averaging nearly 30 points a game or stuff like that, or over 30 points a game, Kingsbury's gonna be gone next year. We might as well be prepared for that
I don't
now.
agree with you because if you have an offense that's averaging 30 points and you still get out because your defense sucks, that's on the defense. They're going to keep him around because he's putting up points.
Oh, but he'll get a job offer.
If our average goes to 19 points, I agree with you.
No,
I'm not talking about getting fired. I'm talking about him getting a head coaching opportunity.
Head coaching job. Yeah.
That could happen. But okay.
Because there are some people that are on the bubble out here right now that's gonna be fighting for their life for jobs.
Coach and Shaq, I bet I got a piece of info that you don't have about Adam Peters.
Come on.
What?
I know you don't know this.
Come on.
Throw it out there.
Adam Peters just paid. We thought he was broke. He shelled out $500,000. You want to know what for?
That wasn't Adam Peters.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Who was it?
It was Josh. It was Josh Allen, the owner. And I do have it in my.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Josh Allen.
So let me get to it because you're trying to throw out some information and you're wrong.
I'm sorry.
And you're wrong.
Wrong. Loud.
But here it is right here, baby.
Boom.
The Jaden Daniels rookie card. Rock Cards produced one, what they call the Black Finite Prism card, 1 of 1, and put it up on auction. And owner Josh Harris paid $500,000 from it during the best trade night that happened 2 nights ago. And he's going to have this card on display at the stadium.
So, Coach, I know you used to collect cards. Can you tell me why this particular card for a rookie quarterback was so expensive? What is a Black Finite Prism, and why is that one more valuable than a?
So limited edition because they only made 1 of them. It is 1 of 1.
It's 1.
It's 1. They only made 1.
Why?
So what a huge. So like this is unheard of in cards, period.
Yeah.
So they put out their very best card that they ever made. They were like, we're going to make it the rookie card for Jaden Daniels, and we're only going to make 1 of them, and then we're going to make $500,000 off of this thing, and we only produced 1 freaking little piece of cardboard card. And they got their money. Yeah. Brilliant. Most people produce cards in bulk and sell them out there to everybody. They came up with the business model of only making 1, and it sold for $500K.
Boy, did they pick the right one?
Yeah, look, I used to collect cards too. I remember. So, when we moved some of my stuff down my grandparents' house, and like this older house, and the roof collapsed on it and soaked all my stuff up. I used to collect all sorts of cards and comic books and stuff. So, yeah, this is interesting.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So
that's been that. To be honest with you, that was the biggest news of the day up here in DC. By far, that they shelled out that much money.
I wonder where they're going to display it at.
In the stadium.
They're going to display it at the stadium. I have it right on the side. Right at the stadium.
Somewhere where all the fans can't get to. That would be a shame. I would hope they'd put it in a place where all the fans could see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They will. They'll put it on display where everybody can walk by and see. Of course, you're not going to be able to get close to it because there's going to be so many people hovering around it. But I mean, but it'll be in there.
$500,000.
Jesus,
$500,000.
Jeff, you have 10,000 cards, and that's your retirement plan. Dear Lord, I hope there's some ringers in there.
But I can tell you this card right here, 10 years from now, especially if Jaden Daniels is having a phenomenal career.
What if he becomes a Pro Bowler?
Man, listen,
Super Bowl.
Might be worth $5 million, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I still have about 5,000 cards myself. I keep them in boxes. Most of them were during the years of 90s where they mass produced everything. So it really deflated their value. And even though these are old cards, they still are not worth a lot.
Tops.
So I mean,
I can't
remember
the old Tops cards.
Remember in the magazine, you go in there, you had to find a player in the card and everything to see how much it was worth.
That's right. I had all of that going on, and you'd always buy a pack, and one card always got ruined because a piece of bubble gum would stick to it.
Yep.
And you would go in there to eat the bubble gum, but it always ruined the card it was stuck to.
Yep.
And that's probably the one that had the value.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, right.
$500,000 he paid.
$500,000.
Is that financed? I wonder. Did he finance that, or did he pay a cash? I'm just curious.
He balling. He got it.
I mean, owner Josh Harris. I don't know, man. Maybe he just wired the money.
This guy's business plan was we're going to make one, and we're going to choose this guy on a lark because it's a rookie lark. You got 32 rookies coming in. You're going to choose that guy, and it just so happens.
Maybe he made one of every rookie. I mean, I don't know. I have to research that more. But the 1-for-1 of Jaden Daniels was bought by the owner.
Wow.
So
500,000. He probably just went straight to it too. 500,000.
Yep.
Who cares?
Oh, once going twice sold.
Who cares about Black Finite Prism? Are they a big card company? Or are they someone who does this?
Yeah, it's called Roth Cards is the company, but the Black Finite Prism is the type of card that they make. You see the picture of what it looks like here.
It's cool.
But it's like they're limited edition, and
are they a name in the card collecting business? These guys?
I've never heard of them actually. I've heard of Topps and a lot of these other ones, but whatever their business model is, man, they just score it, man.
It's working. Whatever it is, it's working.
How hard is it to print out one card?
Yeah. Yeah, whatever it is, it's working. $500,000.
It's only rated at 9.5, even as a 1. It's got a rating of 9.5, and even a 10 for quality. It's a 9.5.
Leave it up to Lawrence.
I want a 10.
Leave it up to Lawrence to find something wrong with it.
Yeah,
of course, it's a 9.5. There's only one. It has to be a 10. What the flip is going on?
Oh my God.
$1 million.
So my goodness. All right, everybody. So here is a question.
He's gonna spend that money on Terry McLaurin.
Man, we're already moved on to another topic, bro. So, and $500K is not going to get Terry McLaurin to a contract.
No.
So anyway, so here's my question, each one of you guys. Now, here's the rules. All of us have to come up with a different answer. But who is your make or break player of 2025? And I'm going to start with Lars Sarge.
Ben Sinnott. No question.
Ben Sinnott, make or break. All right. That's a really good selection there. You want to expound on that?
Nope. It's Ben Sinnott. Put up your shit up, buddy. This is your year. Or you're out.
All right.
Ben Sinnott not even going to make this roster.
I know who you're going for. I'm not going to say. I'm going to let you say it, but I know who you're going for right now.
Yeah, I know who he's going for too, but I'm going to let him say it right now.
If you're watching this channel, you know who he's going to say. If you're watching, you're paying attention. You know who Shaq is picking. Come on, Shaq.
Well, y'all already know. Y'all already know who the make or break play is for me.
Overpaid St. Jude's.
Overpaid St. Jude's.
Which is Marshawn Lattimore for the fans.
Marshawn Lattimore.
And you know what? That's not a bad pick. That's an amazing pick for that.
I think he got a lot to prove.
Before I go, I'm going to go with what Jack Miller says. Luke McCaffrey.
Yeah, it's another one.
That's another one.
It's another one.
I love my Luke. You know I love my Luke. I'm even buying a lightsaber this year to wave it around when he has a good game at the show.
But it might be a make or break.
But you know what? He just ain't in the game enough for me to choose it. Where Ben Sinnott is.
Well, no,
I'm not pinned on him. That's why I chose Sinnott, because he's kind of on the bubble. When we don't have another tight end behind him.
I gave you a chance to expand on your answer, and you blew it. Now you want to expand on your answer? We don't want to hear Ben Sinnott no more.
Matter of fact, I want to take that Marshawn Lattimore pick back.
What? No, you can't do that. No.
Okay, all right.
You've been saying Marshawn Lattimore for the longest time.
I know.
Come on, it's you. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, wait. Just for the sake of the audience, thank you all for listening in. Who do you want to take him back for? If we're going to allow you an Indian give, who would it be?
Brian Robinson.
See, that was going to be my pick. No. Now because
I will stay with Lattimore though. I'll stay with Lattimore.
Yeah.
I was trying to be different and get something that someone wouldn't expect. But the overarching person who's on the bubble, I agree with the coach. It is Robinson.
So
over Archie. I was trying to be a little different.
all right, and I was going to try to pick somebody that nobody else picked, but since Shaq had 2 picks,
I'm sorry. I'll go back to Lattimore. I would go
I
back
mean,
to
you want
Lattimore.
to pick like 5 more players, so you really make it hard for me?
No. I would go back to Lattimore. My bad. I'm sorry.
Oh man, because now I feel like I can't take Brian Robinson because Shaq threw it out there. You know, because I was going to pick Lattimore if he went with Brian Robinson. So okay. So if it's not Brian Robinson, it's not Lattimore, it's not Luke, it's not Benson. Now, let me see if I can come up with another one because my real pick is Brian Robinson. But let me see if I can pick up with another one.
I'm gonna stick with Brian Robinson and explain why though. Explain why.
Yeah,
Well,
you need to
me-
stick with because
let me give you a good solid explanation for Brian Robinson. And I think we all know this, right? So since his time being here, he's been injury prone. He's also never exceeded 1,000 yards rushing in a season. And even though his yard per carry average has been there a lot of years, they haven't trusted him enough to give him enough carries within a game.
Yeah.
And it's because they've been concerned about his durability. And he gets softer later on in the game. He's got to turn into beast mode. But this particular year, why it makes it make or break is because we've spent so much rebuilding this offensive line and beefing it up that he either needs to do it this year or you're gone. And this is the last year of his rookie deal. So you better put up 1,000 yards or you're going to be wearing a different uniform next year as a backup.
Yeah.
And I have to say, my pick was just trying to be different, but overarchingly, overwhelmingly, I completely agree with you. He is the team player that is the number one make or break it this year.
Yep.
Have to agree with that.
Yep.
I would try to be a little bit different and find someone else in the roster because I figured one of you two were going to go for him. I was like, who's the next guy on the bubble? But
I think Benson
I have to agree. B-Rob, listen to us. You need to run the ball.
B-Rob will not be on this roster after this season. Hear me. He's not going to be on this roster after
That's your
this
bold
season.
prediction?
Yeah.
Oh, so you don't think he's actually going to step up this year?
Nope.
I'm afraid
Contract
of the same
year.
because
And we're going to.
Can I make a bold prediction and say because this is a contract year, he's going to show up? I'm going to go opposite from you, Shaq. I'm going to give a bold prediction that he's going to be running his butt off this year.
What's going to happen is we're going to draft another running back next year. B-Rob, and they're going to let B-Rob hit the streets.
I'm going to tell you, I think he still doesn't break 1,000 because our offensive line is a pass rush line, not a run line.
Yeah, I don't agree with that assessment.
I know you don't, but that's my assessment. So listen, Jack was saying, so we got our offensive players for sure, but Jack is pointing out, how come you guys didn't, except for Shaq, pick a defensive player? So we agree Lattimore on the defense is the put up or shut up guy. Who's the second one on the defense?
On that put up or shut up guy for us?
This number 2 behind Lattimore. The 3 of us agree on Lattimore, I think, right?
Yeah. I'll make a break in for him. Quan Martin.
I'm gonna go with Will Harris because he's got big shoes to fill and he's gonna fail.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a one and done on this roster.
As a matter of fact, I even do you one better. Javon Kinlaw. He coming in. We paying him all this money. To come in here. He need to show up.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, he needs to show up.
Yeah.
And I would put Wise in the same category.
Yeah, needs to show up. Paid them all to come in here. Paid all this money. They show up
because Wise came in to be the Fowler replacement, and they believe he's going to be an every down player where Fowler was not, and he'll probably play every down, but probably won't even put up the stats that Fowler did. Yeah. So that will be his demise. He might be a one and done.
All right, so we have a 3-way vote on offensive player. B-Rob, is that a 3-way vote? He's the number 1 offensive player on the bubble. Now do we have a vote on who's the number 1 defensive player?
Marshawn Lattimore.
Okay. Now Jack wants to know about why do we leave out special teams? Who do we think is the player on the bubble on special teams?
I don't think about that.
Luke McCaffrey.
yeah.
Luke McCaffrey. Got to be the punter.
Luke McCaffrey.
Or
Look, McCaffrey is not on special teams this year. He's on the offense as a receiver.
Not true.
No.
He's on special teams.
He's gonna be on special teams. And then what's the name? Either that or the field goal kicker.
The kicker.
Yeah, or the kicker. Yeah, or the field goal.
No,
kicker.
we just got what's his name, William Gay, and like he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah,
I actually think he's going to stick on this roster.
Really?
And nothing's going to happen with Tress Way.
No,
He's a legend in the town as punter.
Yep.
So
He said
we updated that kicker. So
I agree with the kicker.
they're fine.
Jack said he said Deron Payne.
If you're looking for a true special teams player, Ballore will probably this will make a break for Ballore. Ballore's had a lot of high ratings that have been unjustified, and I think he's going to get exposed this year.
They don't even know about him. Wow. Okay, good call.
Cheese man.
Yeah.
Hey, that is cool. That is cool. Look at that, guys. That's a great analysis. Oh no.
So here, this is going to be hard to read. You got to blow it up on your screen if you want to do it. But we're going to do a little bit of analysis on the Marshawn Lattimore. I know we're a little bit over, but we've been rambling a little bit. So one of the things that went on here is the Baltimore Ravens signed Jair Alexander.
Yep.
And so, and they were able to sign him for $6 million. So we passed on that, right?
Yeah.
But we gave up a 3rd, 4th, and 6th round selection in the 2025 draft to be able to get Lattimore, and he's due $18 million this year. So we could have either traded away Lattimore and got something and still signed Alexander, or we could have still signed Alexander along with Lattimore, but we chose just to pass on him. Like, what sense does that make? And what did the Saints do with those 3 picks that we gave them? Well, they turned around and drafted Jonas Sanker from Virginia in the 3rd round, a safety. They drafted corner Quincy Riley from Louisville, and they were able to make another trade with the Philadelphia Eagles that also brought them back a 7th, and they were able to use that one to get tight end Malachi Motavo, which I thought was a steal in the 7th round.
Yep.
And that's what we gave up for Marshawn Lattimore.
So Jair Alexander, a lot of teams are looking like, why didn't the Lions pick him up? Why didn't the Commanders pick him up? You know, because he was cheap. And it's that injury history. So the Ravens, I think, took a loss leader saying, why the hell not for the $6 million, where other teams were more skittish about whether or not.
He's gonna be more benefit than anything.
You would
having that kind of experience.
I agree with this analysis, Coach. I agree with your analysis on this.
But let's talk about Marshawn Lattimore. When we made this trade, he came to us injured.
That's right.
Yeah,
he did.
And let's talk about Marshawn Lattimore alone. The few games he did play, he was pass interference expert of the year.
That's right. And listen, when I say AJ Brown was dumping down this dude's neck, down his neck, like he didn't have. Whenever we play any quality receivers. Think about it. Let's take, for instance, the Lions game, right? Jeremy Chinn had a phenomenal game, right? He had a phenomenal game. Marshawn Lattimore, not as much. Getting burnt up. Look at the game.
He had one game, right? One game with us where it was complete shutdown.
That was the Saints game. It was
right?
It was the Saints game. The Saints were scared to throw his direction. Everybody else was picking on him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what they did, they won.
Yeah,
he had one great game with us and gone. All right, what you got?
All right, so the next one here is we did have a standout in camp, and it was an undrafted free agent. Ja'Cory Brooks from Louisville apparently lit it up. Now, again, you're talking about no contact practices and OTAs and mini camps, but apparently we were so high on this guy that when we signed him as an undrafted free agent, we paid $234,000 and guaranteed that money for an undrafted free agent.
6'3". I love me some 6'3" wide receivers.
Hey, listen, I can tell you,
that's a reach, baby. That's a reach.
I am telling you what, we do not have a number 2 receiver on this roster. Ja'Cory Brooks can come in and he can steal the job. Man,
he needs to cut that hair. There's too much wind resistance there.
Oh man, you don't like that. He's gonna have a helmet on.
I love it, but it's too much wind resistance. He's gonna
wear a helmet to get his arrow.
Faster. Cut the hair.
Look, he can come in and steal the job because there's no Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel. There's no other receivers locked in. So no, he could come in. He got the size, he got the height. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
He's got it over Luke.
yeah.
And I'm telling you, like you're right.
What did he do in the
you're right.
40? What did he do in the 40?
I don't
I
know
don't
what
know.
his play time is, but like they are high on him. They guaranteed his salary of $234,000, and apparently he's looking fast. He's looking solid. He was catching everything with McLaurin not in camp and with Noah Brown out when he got hurt. Like he was out on the field a lot, and they said that they were lighting him up. Like Jaden Daniels was finding him left and right.
Good.
So Corey Brooks 40 time 4.65. Not so impressed.
Oh,
It's slow, but he's 6'3", so he's
Yeah.
a big guy.
I get it, but I
He's
like
almost like another tight end in the slot.
yeah. Yep.
So,
4.65 is still fast. No doubt.
by the way, I will tell you that was the same speed of Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
Just
And
to
then
throw
he
that
was,
out there.
and
Jerry
he
Rice
wanna-
was not
The
bad.
question is, can he cut and break away? Right? Can he get separation? So yeah, I mean he's right in the zone. Yeah, I love. Okay,
Man.
yeah, this guy sounds great.
yeah, I'm gonna say. I mean, and that's faster than Zach Ertz. He probably run like a 5 something now.
Oh God, yeah. Zach's got glue on his hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he knows how
Zach
to cut.
Ertz is out there with a walker, ain't he?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, now don't be busting on Zach Ertz. Come on, that man was a producer.
Hey,
Give
man,
that
time-
man a
Oh,
break.
baby, we gotta wrap this show up because we're over an hour, man. It was so great having you guys. Man, it was so great, man. Thank you guys for your participation. This is a participation sport. We all love you all out there. We appreciate you. This is Football Fight, baby. And we got to be out of here, man. We got to